Place, London, year 1788. People, British Parliament. Have you ever heard of a war that never actually began? Because someone forgot to write it down? Let us travel back to London in the year 1788. The great halls of the British Parliament are crowded. Wig-wearing politicians, quill pens scratching, and the smell of candle wax filling the air. Outside, Europe is tense. The rivalry between England and France is as old as anyone can remember. The two nations had clashed again and again over colonies, trade, and power. And now, once more, voices in London were calling for war. The mood was electric. "Gentlemen, we cannot let the French insult us," one speaker shouted. Others banged their canes on the wooden floor, cheering for conflict. The air thickened with patriotic speeches, fiery declarations, and a rising hunger for action. But what happens when passion meets bureaucracy? That's where our story takes a turn. The debates dragged on for hours, then days. Parliament became a theater of arguments. Some insisted Britain must defend its honor immediately. Others feared the cost of another bloody conflict. Quills scribbled furiously. Papers rustled. Clerks hurried about, carrying drafts and notes. Yet amid all the noise, one simple, crucial task kept slipping through the cracks: the actual written declaration of war. To wage war in the 18th century wasn't as simple as shouting across the channel. There had to be a formal statement, carefully written, signed, and sealed with the authority of Parliament and the Crown. Without it, cannons stayed silent, and fleets remained docked. And so, while the men in powdered wigs thundered about strategy and national pride, no one, absolutely no one, took the time to draft the final declaration. It was as if an entire empire forgot to bring a pen to battle. Meanwhile, the people of London waited anxiously. Rumors filled the coffee houses and taverns. Sailors prepared for mobilization. Merchants feared trade would collapse. Ordinary families whispered at night, "Will we soon be at war with the French again?" But as days turned into weeks, something strange happened. Nothing. The drums of war never beat. Ships stayed tied to the docks. Soldiers drilled in their barracks, but received no orders to march. Across the Channel, the French also waited, puzzled, cautious, and perhaps a little amused. Had England truly changed its mind? Or were the British simply too busy arguing with themselves? The truth was simpler and far funnier. Without an official written declaration, there could be no war. It was like preparing a grand play, filling the theater with actors, musicians, and an audience, but forgetting to print the script. And so, the Great War of 1788 ended before it ever began. Not with a battle, not with a treaty, not even with a single cannon fired, but with silence. Parliament eventually moved on to other matters. The moment passed, and history recorded the event as one of the strangest bureaucratic blunders of its time. Think about it. An empire that ruled the seas, a nation feared across continents, undone not by enemies, but by paperwork. The mighty British Empire, tripped up by its own forgetfulness. It is a reminder that sometimes history doesn't heed. Turn on the clash of armies or the brilliance of kings, but on the small details. A missing letter, an unsigned paper, a war that might have reshaped Europe, erased not by gunpowder, but by the absence of ink. So next time you misplace a pen, remember, in 1788, Britain lost an entire war that way.